Are you tired of spending your money on expensive, overhyped cameras that don't live up to expectations? If your answer is yes, then the super compact P and S medium format camera with the 60mm f4 lens, the Fuji GA445, may be just right for you. The Fuji GA645 is one of the medium format professional cameras that were seen as waymakers back in the day. The Fuji GA465 professional camera was released in 1995. It was the predecessor of the Fuji GA645 Wime, released 2 years later in 1997. Over the years, as other companies focused on making everyday cameras, Fuji kept their focus on making professional cameras, and the GA645 is one such product. In this video, we're going to thoroughly review the Fuji GA645, from everything you need to know about it to the pros and cons, and whether you should still buy it. If this is your first time, click on the subscribe and notification icons to get updated on the latest tech product reviews. Specs and main features. As old as the Fuji GA645 camera may look, it has some cool features that we are going to review. First, we begin with the lens. The GA645 camera has a Fujinon 60mm f4 autofocus lens. In recent times, this is almost equivalent to a 35mm lens on a full-frame camera. The lens features 7 elements in 6 groups and also has a 58mm filter thread. Next up, the camera has a large, bright and clear electronic viewfinder that has 0.6x magnification. The diopter in the viewfinder can be adjusted with the ranger from -3.5 to +1.5. It has a portrait format orientation, which is different from the normal landscape format in most cameras. This is based on a 3-glass element reverse Galilean design. The camera also comes with an aperture priority automatic exposure mode and center-weighted average metering with an exposure compensation of +/2 EV in 1/2 EV steps. The range of the exposure is also EV 1:19, ISO 100. The exposure system uses a silicon photodiode. There are 3 exposure modes: programmed auto, aperture priority, and manual exposure modes. Other features include the ability to print the exposure and date information on the film outside the photo area. To do this, you can press the data button to change the format. Some of the available formats are the year/month/day, day/hour/minute, exposure mode/aperture/shutter/exposure comp focus, year/day/hour/minute, and off. The shutter in the GA645 is an electronically controlled leaf shutter with a speed range of 4 seconds to 1/700th seconds and can be operated in bulb mode. The film is a medium format 120 film, which has a frame size of 6x4.5 centimeters and has 15 exposures per roll. You can also view certain information on the LCD display at the top. Some of the information includes exposure counter, aperture, shutter, ISO, battery, 120 or 220 film, self-timer, date and time, focusing distance, and a lot more features. Some of the main other specs in the camera are the built-in flash with red eye reduction and slow sync options, multiple exposure modes, a 1/4 inch tripod socket, and a self-timer. It has dimensions of 154 x 106 by 124 mm, approximately 6.1 x 4.2 x 4.9 inches, and weighs 1,100 grams or 2.4 pounds. A camera is only as good as how long it takes you without having to worry about power, so it is important to get a camera that has a good battery. The GA645 is powered by a 2XCR 123A battery, which can be found at the base of the hand grip. The battery can last for about 3,000 shots without flash and 600 with flash. Should you buy it or not? The decision to buy the GA645 or not solely depends on you, but here is some guidance to verify whether you need the Fuji GA645 camera or not. If you want the following, then you should buy the Fuji GA645 camera. You want a lightweight camera you can carry around without stress, a maximum resolution, or a 645 film format on a medium format Pro camera. You want to film travel photography using a medium format camera. You want a camera with user or beginner-friendly controls. You want a camera with multiple exposure modes. You want a camera that has a built-in flash. On the other hand, you shouldn't buy the Fuji GA645 camera for the following reasons. It is autofocus, only making it unable to focus as you would on other cameras. Limited exposure makes it unable to have total control over the exposure. The camera is film-based and requires you to buy a new film before you can shoot. Price. Since the Fuji GA645 is an old camera that has been in the system for over 2 decades, the price varies depending on where you buy it and the condition in which you get it. However, it is expected that a fresh in-box model will cost more than a used one. For a 1995 medium-format professional camera, the Fuji GA645 has a lot of features and specifications. Most of them have been discussed in this video, along with some tips on whether to go for it or not. Whatever you decide, make sure you understand it completely. And if you have further questions, you can put them in the comments section below, and we'll be glad to assist you. Like and share this video with someone else.